my peoples from outer space. Today, we talk about
Control.
And periods.
maybe we could start out with the story of my first period. I got this all written down because obviously I'm an amateur. I'm out of breath. I forgot to breathe. That's a habit. There I go rambling. See, I'm an amateur. Okay, so starting my first period. I think it was my 11th birthday. No. Maybe it was June 11th. Okay. So I think it was my 13th birthday. I was in my hometown celebrating a birthday party after 6th grade or something. Yeah, 6th grade. I had returned back after moving, so I kind of threw it for my birthday. I threw it mainly to catch up with everyone that I used to know and meet some new people. And it was all great. There were some little traumatic events for my birthday, but I went home at the end of the day happy, right? Next few days, I'm spending time with my grandparents, and I get a phone call, ring ring, from my old babysitter, and she asked me if she want me to come over. Like, she wanted me to come over. And so I did, and I was going to spend the night. So she came up and picked me up, and I had no idea it was going to come because I had no symptoms. And I don't know if that's normal. Like, do girls normally get symptoms before they get their first period? Because I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, I had no idea it was coming. I didn't know really much of it. I didn't even know periods were a thing. I don't think. Well, I obviously did, but I had only spent a few hours there, and I was playing in the guest bedroom, I guess, with some of my toys because I was still a child, and I got toys, and I like toys, and I suddenly smelled something nasty, and it was warm, and it was wet down there, and I didn't like it, and so I ran to the bathroom, and I looked down, and there's nasty red blood in my underwear, and I freak out, and I run out to my babysitter, and I'm like, I think I got my period. And she's like, oh no, it's okay. And she's all reassuring and sweet, and that's just who she is. She's really good at handling things. And we went to across the street to the dollar store, got me a box of pads, and started figuring out what to do. Called my mom. She was at Bonnaroo, which is a music festival in Manchester, Tennessee, I think. And so she couldn't be there to help me, and so I had to go home to my grandparents, who were not great at handling things. My son, or my babysitter, asked me if I wanted to stay with her, but I thought it'd just be more comfortable if I could just sleep where I was comfortable, and I had all my things, and just I thought I had more people to help me there, but it was actually pretty traumatic. I didn't have anybody, and they kind of just it's not like they didn't love me and try to help me. It's just they weren't as patient, and so it was pretty bad. And I didn't have my mom there, and I feel like she'd just be as traumatic as they were. So well, there's that. So yeah, that's my first period. It was traumatic. And I wanted to say that because it can be really freaking scary sometimes. Like, my first time should have been like, uh, you know, not rejoice, but like more calm, more understood, but it wasn't. And I think that's something that we need to bring attention to because girls grow up. They're not always going to just be a little girl, and they're going to experience things that you used to experience, and you can't just blame them for it or make them feel nasty about it because they probably already do. Like, they don't know what's going on with their body yet. They probably won't know until they start reading stuff on it, which is probably going to be like immediately if they're like in a that kind of situation where they have to figure it out themselves. Um, so that's my story, and it was awful, and I hated it, and I felt so alone, and I just don't think a girl should go through that. Um, it was bad. Uh, Now moving on to the next topic. This isn't a smooth transition, but I said we were going to talk about birth control. What made me get birth control? Well, it's my freshman year of high school, and I almost immediately got into a relationship, and it was pretty serious. Already 6 months in, and we got doing some stuff, and I was 14, 15, I don't freaking remember, I won't do the math. So yeah, I was pretty young. I look back and I'm like, wow, I was young. Now I'm 17. Well, so I got birth control because my mom found out that I had done the birds and the bees with my boyfriend, and she wasn't too happy about that. I mean, what parent would be? But she definitely was wanting to kill me. She didn't like my boyfriend for some reason because he had never done anything wrong at that point. I mean, there's been a lot of that's gone on in our relationship, but he had never done anything wrong at that point. He was sweet. He was like as gentlemanish as you can be for a small town boy, you know, that hasn't had etiquette or been taught to have manners. He had manners all on his own, and I tried to teach him some manners because I feel like my family would be old school, but guess not. So my mom was considering to never let me see him again. And thank God my brother was there because he was the one that talked her into letting me see him because the deed had already been done. That means I'm more attached. That means he's more attached, and that it was just going to get harder between me and mom. And so she was like, fine, but I'm going to make her get birth control. And I was down. Not because I wanted to have more birds and bees, not because, you know, it wasn't anything to do with my body. Like, my periods were always irregular. So I wasn't too concerned about my period for some reason. I don't know why. I never really got it checked out or talked about it. And so we made a quick appointment literally the next like few days after I had been caught, I guess. And we showed up to Planned Parenthood, and I sat down with the doctor dude alone in an office. Excuse me. And we talked about things, and we talked about all the types of birth control we were interested in, but mainly the one that my mom had pointed out because it was 3-year hormonal in my arm. She thought it'd be easy. No, it was not easy for me. It was terrible. So obviously, I decided on that, afraid that she would kick my butt if I didn't decide on that right then and there. So we did the normal things, got pee tested, whatever, make sure I wasn't preggers. And this had been like a month after I had actually done it, so good thing, right? Um, and when I went in, it was fine. They put it in my arm, and it hurt a lot. And it was also very traumatic because my mom wouldn't hold my hand. I wanted my boyfriend there so bad because I knew she would not hold my hand. She did not hold my hand while I cried because it hurt. Because I thought it was numb. Like the numbing medicine that they put in makes your whole arm feel like it just went to sleep. And so I thought it was numb because I didn't feel it anymore. But when they put it in, it hurt. It hurt really bad. I had no idea why, and I didn't tell anyone because, well, I was scared. And it was already too late anyways, so it was in within a few seconds, and then they patched it up, and all was good. About the next day, I literally started my period, right? And I had that thing in for almost an entire year, and every single day, no kidding, I had my period. It didn't feel like much, it just was disgusting, and it wasn't heavy. It wasn't like a normal period. It was just, obviously it wasn't a normal period. It was just constant blood, and I couldn't get away from it, and I always had to wear joggers to like conceal my big fat maximum power pads, and it was awful. I got fat. I got so well, I wouldn't say fat, but fat. I got fatter. Like I was really skinny in my freshman year. Like I thought I was fat then. Look at me now, and wow, I'm completely different. It like really messed me up, and I can't get it to go away. So it made me fat. It made me crazy. It destroyed my relationship. And here's the part where, I told you there was some bad things. So me and him had celebrated our 1 year already. And yeah. And I think we were 1 year and 6 months. Almost. When he dumped me because my mom pissed me off, and I went to him. He didn't listen to me at first because he was busy. And so I got mad at him, and he's like, I'm tired of you blaming it on me. I'm tired, blah, 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 blah. And it was my fault. Straight up, it was my fault. But it led to other things that were more traumatic. And so that's when I said, that's it. I'm getting it out. And I told him that, and I told him that if that helps him reconsider, or something like that, like, I told him to tell him, like, that I think this is what's wrong with me, and I asked him to reconsider me. And he did, and we fixed things for the most part. I got the thing out. I was still a little kooky for the next few weeks, a month, because I was being stripped of these hormones I was so used to already. And my period, stopped. Immediately stopped when I got my other non-hormonal birth control, which is the one that goes up inside your uterus, the IUD. It's the copper one, so it's triple protected. No hormonal side effects. The only thing is it hurts more during the periods, but I never really had period pains, and so lucky me. But Now I kind of do. It depends on how bad it is and how regular I was. Like the first few, like first 6 months that I had it, it was pretty regular. So it made sense to me. I was like, maybe this thing made me regular. Like either it was this thing stopping made it regular, or this thing going in made it regular. Who knows? But I was kind of grateful because I could track it. And then it stopped and started getting irregular again. So I don't know. Um, but it's definitely been better for me. The only thing that's, I'm not too proud of is that I'm still overweight, and that's probably just on my part because I don't try and do anything about it. I mean, I have no way to do it. Like, if I want to work out, I don't want to be alone, and uh, there's not much I can do here. I mean, I can go outside and do workouts and whatever, but I'd be bored, and I would not feel good. If I had somebody with me doing it, I'd be fine. I'd be set. Also, my diet, I eat. What can I say? I like food. Here to live good, not live long, right? Whatever. Um, I hated being on that hormonal birth control, and I thought I was alone, and I tried calling Planned Parenthood, but usually I couldn't get through. I had to be on a waiting list for like 60 more people, and I was like, well, screw that. And it was too hard to make an appointment because of my mom's work schedule, and my bangs are really big. But so, anyways, back to the birth control. That was in my arm. That was hormonal. I thought I was alone on it. But I didn't think to ask other people until towards the end. And come to find out, my sister-in-law had it for 6 months while she was dating my brother, and it drove him mad. Like, she said that she was like her mom going through menopause. That's how bad it was. And menopause is like when your period comes to a stop, in case any of you wonder, and it can drive a person crazy. Like, actually, I think my mom's going through it, but she's always been a little cracky. Anyways, she had it, made her crazy, made her so uncomfortable, and she bled, just like me. But I didn't find that out until only a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, when they came here and visited, and other crap went down. And then when I was still on it, and I was in school, my freshman year still? Yeah, freshman year still. So I hadn't been with him for a year. I don't know anymore. Leave me alone. I don't know. Anyways, I was talking to a few friends, I think during the time that he had broken up with me and did horrible crap. There were a few like mutual friends that we had, and I had lunch with them, and so we were in the lunch line just talking about it, and I didn't even know these girls had birth control, the same birth control that I had in my arm, and they were like, yeah, I get that. I totally was insane whenever I had it. I still have it, and I've learned to control it, but it's really hard sometimes, and I still bleed. I still have outbursts of emotion. I still kind of want to kill someone sometimes, and there's nothing else I can do. It's too hard to replace it and stuff, and it's a really hard thing. Birth control can be really hard, and I don't know about the other methods of birth control, but damn, it's hard. And it's not just for like people who have the birds and the bees. It's for people who have periods, who are like irregular, or they're just way out crazy. There's so many things that I don't know about that people have told me about that, are just, they feel like you come out of a horror movie for these things. It's so hard being a woman, and I can only imagine for all these other women who have like worse periods and other methods of birth control, and how it's making them feel and how it's making them act. And you never know what that person be going through, and it could actually affect their day-to-day lives. It's just terrible. Like, it's awful. It makes me sad. I hate being a woman. Sometimes it's just like, I really wish I was a dude. Like, it's totally not worth it to me right now. I wish there was a way just to turn it off. It was cheap. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess that would have, I don't know. See, I don't know. Like, I was thinking, like, freezing your eggs. Then I realized your uterus has its own different schedule than your eggs. Like, so it wouldn't have worked. I don't think. Because it wouldn't make sense. See, there's not enough education of what periods and your reproduction system does. And where there's Google. But who wants to do all their research on Google when it could be taught and more understood if it was, taught in person and it wasn't weird and it was normalized? I remember being in 8th grade and then freshman year of gym, we having sex ed, right? And I remember, like, the basics of what our body looks like and how it acts, and then what guys' bodies work and act like. But I remember a lot more of the guys' education stuff, like telling them to keep it in their pants and use condoms. And then there was all this other stuff that you had to learn about the other birth control methods. But they never talked about the side effects or like what people felt about it. Like, they just talked about how accurate it was and how it could, like, they didn't talk about how it could fuck up your life. Whoops. I'm really angry about it because nobody knows that it can your life up. And I really wish I had known. I really wish I had someone to talk to about it that actually would have told me about it, before I got it. Instead, I just got, you're getting this, whether you like it or not. You're not walking out of here without birth control. And I think that was kind of messed up because it's my body, for one. And, like, I was all for getting birth control. I had no way to know if it was going to be okay. And, like, it reacts different with other people's bodies. It reacts different with other people's hormones. It's different all the time. And there was no way to tell. And I don't think the person who, like, the dude who I sat down with knew about it either. Because, one, he's a dude. Two, it's different. But I was never warned. I had this whole packet, like, it was that thick, right? It was that thick. That thick, right? I read through most of it. I skimmed it and I looked through all the side effects, and I didn't see much of what I saw, like what I experienced. And that's why I think it should be studied more and taught more and considered more before you put something in somebody's body, such as a ding dong or birth control or tampons or whatever, because we as people need education about what things matter, like history. Okay, don't want to repeat it, but we can learn that some other time. This is now. We gotta learn this now. We gotta learn taxes. We gotta learn all this crazy crap about life. And you're teaching us Napoleon? Why? I don't know. I just don't know about this world sometimes. And I'm really angry and I'm rambling and I'm probably repeating a lot of stuff. But I'm very emotional about this. And I'm emotional about everything, actually. I'm a very emotional person. So you can imagine if I'm crazy now, I was crazier craziest I've ever been with that thing in my arm. Oh, another side effect is it's hypersensitive now. Like, this arm, you can pinch right here. If you pinch right here, it'll like send a burning like pain, like not pain, but it feels like it's burning right through here. And somebody's calling me. Okay, my recording will stop or something. Also, burning pain. I guess it's just from the scar tissue, but it's downright awful. I'm still having problems with it even when it's gone. That's the point. So more education. My story, I guess. I'll get better at this, I swear. But yeah. I hope you guys, if anybody watches this, enjoyed my video of me rambling and ranting and almost crying and, whatever. And I'll see you guys next time. Whee! I apologize for another long tangent video of mine, but I'm amateur, and it's something that I actually thought should be shared alongside my friends. They gave me the idea. I'm still learning, and I just thought I should rant. So there's a viewpoint that you now know about me. So I hope you somewhat enjoyed or learned a little something, or, yeah. Thanks for watching. You've made it this far.